Hey YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I wanted to talk to you 3 steps that I've learned from a book that I read. And it's 3 steps that get you a shortcut, really the most succinct way of getting to your heart's desires. And therefore, because of that, you can make a lot more money if you just follow these 3 steps. It's been proven. Stay tuned. The first I wanted to mention about the book that I read this from. It's a really good book that you might want to pick up from Amazon or your local bookstore. It's from Robert Anthony's book called Deliberate Creation, The Secret of Deliberate Creation. And in this is really good information on questions to ask yourself and a little exercise. So when you have the time, go back home or wherever you are in a quiet place and just go through this at your own time. Pause it after each question and answer it to the best of your ability to really dig in deep on what it is that you really are passionate about in your life, what's your true heart's desires. And if you go through this by the T, I assure you that you'll be much further ahead in your pursuit of what you really want. Because the way I look at it is that really the shortcut to getting to what you want is first identifying what it is that you're passionate about, right? Just like a straight line to where you want to go, instead of like curving around, you get to what you want quicker instead of wasting a lot of time. I kind of, an example of it is a sailboat that's going from California to Hawaii, right? Let's say San Francisco to Hawaii. If you're on a sailboat and you don't have that longitude and latitude specifically set up on your boat, that wind is going to blow your sail every which way, depending on how the wind blows, depending on the new side hustle or the new fad or new idea that comes along. That's not going to help you get to your destination, Hawaii, in the fastest amount of time. Just like having a GPS with a car, you don't just start driving west from New York all the way to Los Angeles, right? And then you're just going to be sidetracked every which way. You need a GPS with the exact address of where you want to go. And that's the importance of this exercise, guys, is by identifying for you, because everybody's different, for you, what is your true heart's desires. So what I want to do is have you kind of go through this exercise, and what you can do after each question is just pause the video, write it down, answer it, and then keep going on to the next question. That's what I highly recommend, that you really take these questions to heart and not just fly through them. So the first question that I want you to ask yourself is, and this is the first step. This is the first step that consists of all these questions, okay? What would I like to have in my life that I don't have right now? What would I like to have in my life that I don't have right now? Feel free to pause the video after each question, write it down, really think about it. Another question, what would I want to do if there are no restrictions or obstacles? What would I want to do if there are no restrictions or obstacles? Next question, if money were not a consideration, what would I like to do? If money were not a consideration, what would I like to do? Next question. What makes me very happy? What makes me very happy? Next question. What makes me laugh? Next. What stirs my emotions in a positive way when I think about it? What stirs my emotions in a positive way when I think about it? Next question. What do I always think about when I daydream about something that I really like to do, to be, or to have? Again, what do I always think about when I daydream about something that I really like to do, to be, or to have? Next question. What would I love to do to help others? What would I like to do to help others? Next question. What characteristics or strengths or personality traits would I like to have that I don't have now? What characteristics, strengths, or personality traits would I love to have that I don't have now? Another question. What type of physical appearance have I always wanted to develop? What type of physical appearance have I always wanted to develop? What do I want from my spouse or children? What do I want from my spouse or my children? What do I want from others? What do I want from others? What do my best friend and I do for fun? What do my best friend and I do for fun? Next question, and the last question here. What did I used to do that I enjoyed doing, but I don't do now? What did I used to do that I enjoyed, but I don't do now? All right, so you can rewind the video, go back to these questions, answer it down on a piece of paper, and then step number 2 is this. When you start looking back at that list, now look back at that list that you wrote down of the items that you wanted, right? And take a look at it, consider each item and ask yourself the following question. Jot down your immediate emotional responses. If I had that in my life, or I was that, or I could do that, then what would that make me feel? So again, you go back and look through your list, right? And say, if I had that item in my life, or I was that in the list, or I could do that in the list, then how would that make me feel? Really get in touch with your emotions. Get into the feeling aspect of each particular item that you answered, because that feeling and emotion is really what's going to determine what it is that you're really, really, really passionate about, okay? So go back through that. This is an important step 2. Is you're looking back at it and determining what items you feel most in touch with. All right? Now, step number 3 in this 3-step process is that now you need to go back, take a deep breath, all right? Tune into yourself, deep into yourself, and really get into the feeling of that very first item on your list. Imagine an intensity meter that's in front of you, all right? It's a meter from 1 to 100, and in this meter, you want to determine how is that scale. Ask yourself, if you can rate that feeling from 1 to 100, what would that item feel to you? Okay, how badly do you want each of those things? Be very sensitive to the intensity of your desires. So as you're looking at those items, be sensitive to your strong feelings of that item, okay? So really get in tune with how you feel about it, and start rating it from 1 to 100. Because when you go back to that list, you want to get to the items that were rated as 100, okay? The ones that are closest to the 100 on the scale, those are the ones that you should really pinpoint on, because those are the ones that really, if you focus on those particular items and you go in the directions of those desires, it's going to be easier for you as you pursue your making money endeavors, as you go after certain things. You're going to know that that's really what it is that you want to achieve in your life, and you don't have to worry about getting distracted with a lot of other things. All right? Hope this video was helpful. I can send you this list if you like. Just put a comment in the below with your email, and I can shoot you an email with the list and any other comments that you might have about other topics that you're interested in. If you like it, please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. It will help with the growth of the channel. I appreciate it. God bless. Bye.